Welcome to Thrive in Design, a podcast about making money in beautiful interiors as it relates to product-based businesses in the interior design industry. Each week, we'll discuss innovative strategies on how to approach product development and design sales in a shifting market. I'm your host, Nicole Ben.
Welcome to Thrive in Design, the podcast where we explore the intersection of innovation, craftsmanship, and strategy in the interior design and furnishings industries. I'm your host, Nicole Ben, and today we have a truly special guest, my client, Dan Hannula, CEO and president of Decorator Industries. For nearly 5 decades, Dan has been the helm of a company that has set the standard for custom-crafted interior furnishings, including window treatments and bedding for hospitality and healthcare sectors and beyond. With a rich legacy dating back to 1953, Decorator Industries combines decades of history with forward-thinking innovation to deliver high-quality, custom-made bedding and window treatments. In this episode, we'll dive into the story behind Decorator Industries, Dan's remarkable career journey, and the collaborative approach they take to bring their clients' visions to life. Plus, we'll explore how Thrive in Design ties into this conversation, showcasing the importance of strategy and design thinking in creating impactful interior solutions. So let's get started. Welcome to the show, Dan.
Hi, Nicole. How are you doing?
I'm so excited to have you here today to dive into everything about your journey, Decorator Industries, and what is to come.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Dan, tell me a little bit about your journey. You've been with Decorator Industries for more than 4 decades. Share a little bit about how your journey with the company began and how it has evolved.
Well, thanks, Nicole. Yeah, I started with the company back in June 1st, 1976. We were a privately owned company called Liberia Manufacturing. We fabricated window treatments and deck coverings for the manufactured housing industry. Back in 1986, we were purchased by a company called Decorator Industries, Incorporated, a public company out of Florida. And their decorators specialized in fabricating window treatments for manufactured housing, RV, and we were going to be the hospitality healthcare division of that company. And I was with them until in 2011, the public company ran into financial problems due to Fleetwood RV, one of their major accounts, bankruptcy, and it put 2 of our facilities out of business, basically. And so they were desperate for cash flow and ended up that I have an opportunity to purchase the healthcare and hospitality divisions back on, it ended up being April 13th. It was a Friday the 13th in 2011.
Oh, wow.
So, and it was interesting because at the time we kind of made national news because my CEO of the puppet company gave me a call. I happened to be up in northern Saskatchewan hunting, and I was in a tree. I got a satellite phone call from the CEO saying, "Hey, you had a buyer in Las Vegas. Is he still interested?" And I said, "Yeah, probably." So I called my friend down in Las Vegas, and he said, "Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock." So I borrowed a truck, drove to Edmonton, got an early morning flight, was down in Las Vegas, and the company, the guy actually agreed to buy the company. And I said, "That's all good." I flew back to my tree in Saskatchewan.
And finish your hunting.
Yeah. On the way home, I said to my hunting buddy, I said, "No, maybe we should buy it." So I called my wife and she said, "Yeah." And they got Scott Walker was the governor of Wisconsin, and Scott Stewart, our local representative, and they actually supported us, financed us so we could keep that business in Wisconsin. So it was all good. And since 2012, we have been growing the business. We ran into COVID, and when that hit, and that really hurt here at the hospitality industry. Yeah, so we really had to learn how to survive. We made a lot of, I think, made over 265,000 face masks that we donated to the local churches, communities, clinics, elderly housing, police departments, and so on to keep things going.
Yeah. And what I find really interesting, there's 2 things there. One thing that you missed that I want you to touch on really quick was like, what role did you actually start in when you first started at the original company?
Yeah, well, when I came in 76, I actually started, my title was assistant manager, but I did all the shipping, receiving, the maintenance, mechanical work. So back then we were doing 300,000 in sales. We grew up to 14 million. So every operation that we included or added, or product line we added, I got to know the product inside and out. So there's not a machine out here on the floor that I can't strip down to the bare shaft and rebuild myself.
Yeah, I love that. And see, I just love the story that people have in their career journeys and evolution. And you started with really like the shipping, receiving, the technical aspects of the company, and now you bought it. And the other thing that I find really interesting about the decorator industry story is just how it has evolved over the years. You guys started focusing on manufactured homes and RVs and have since evolved into serving so many other design segments. So as you continue moving forward in 2025 and the years to come, what are you hoping for and what design segment are you hoping to grow even more?
Well, I think the fabrication part is what we're known for, our quality of workmanship, being on time with our deliveries, competitive pricing, and we have a great customer service team here. That's all been really solid here for a lot of years. Our office staff has an average of 20 years of employment. But I think going forward, I kind of say, we don't want to do everybody's business, but whatever we do, we want to do well. So we're always been in the hospitality. We're always been in healthcare. We ventured out into some other areas. We've done a lot of work for Disney. We're doing some, we just finished the Wisconsin State Capitol building. That was a $1.4 million job. It's just really, really ornate, really fun stuff to do. As you accumulate years, I guess, I get maybe a little more particular as far as doing some unique stuff. We bought our leather shoe repair store so we could work with leather products. Some of the products on the West Coast go into that area. So I think that our growth is outside of what we already do. It's more an awareness for our customers to know who we are and what we can really do for them. We're very unique, very versatile. We go into embroidery. We got wide bed printing, UV printing machines, dye sublimation. So there's a lot of flexibility here, a lot of variation. I think that's part of the reason why we've survived is because we're not just one niche. We're not in one market. We're across the board. We do a lot of different angles, different approaches to business. Universities, dormitories, commercial buildings, banks. We do all of that.
Yeah, I love that. So let's dive in a little bit into the design process. There's many different people within the design process, whether it's hospitality, healthcare, beyond. You have the designers, the fabricators, the purchasing agents, and all of those things. But tell us more about what the process looks like to design and fabricate the bedding and window treatments that you all create and bring to life for your clients. What does that look like from start to finish?
Well, we deal with two types of customers, pretty much the brand properties, and also non-branded or independent hotel properties, boutique hotels. The branded stuff is pretty much specified already through window treatments and top of bed specifications. We basically have to meet those specs. And that's it's a big part of our business. The boutique, the unbranded stuff where you help the designers create specifications as fabric selections and so on, sourcing the fabrics is very fun for us because that's kind of a clean slate. You can go right at it. And I think what we do is we work with everybody out there from 5 stars down to 1-star type properties. So we get a feel as far as what's trending out there. So we can assist our designers, the architects in creating products that function and perform properly, but yet give the design aspect that they're looking for.
Absolutely. And so I know you just touched on a little bit that depending on if it's pretty much like a hard brand or a soft brand or boutique brand, it's a little bit different where you might be giving a little bit more concierge service. So I think another part of what you guys do is that installation and measuring, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what that process looks like after everything is fabricated.
I think it's very important for us to install our products because we work very hard to fabricate a good quality product. And if you get a good installer, it can make the product, look good, or you get a poor installer, it can make it look poor. So we do supervise the installation process very closely. And whoever installs a job typically needs to measure the job as well. That way, whoever measures it knows exactly what he goes to install, knows exactly how to measure it. So the project works a lot smoother that route.
Yeah, I love that. And so for the audience to understand, how does that differ from any of your competitors out there with all of the services you offer? You talked about printing and dye sublimation, measuring, installation, and fabrication. How does that differ from your competitors to make Decorator Industries really stand out?
Well, I think it's our experience. I think we've been around. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, we started in 1953. I've been here since 1976. Our floor supervisor, our production people have all been here for well over 20 years. So we know what to watch out for. We're very front-ended on things. We ask a lot of questions up front to make sure that the end product that comes off our production line is exactly what the customer wants. I refuse. My wife always tells me I'm a little bit OCD, but it needs to be done right. There's one way and it's the right way. And if we run across issues or problems, we contact the customer immediately and address those. Quite often, on a new construction, you could measure a job in January, and by the time you install it in April or May, things could change. Something could change on site. It's how you react to those problems is really what makes or breaks you, what differentiates you from anybody else. Yeah, I learned a long time ago is address the problem immediately, get it done, get it resolved, figure a solution, and then we'll deal with the costs afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Thrive in Design is more than just a podcast. We are a design and innovation consultancy that focuses on helping interior product companies increase their brand awareness and revenue. We do this by truly understanding a designer's experience with your brand. We need to know what they experience from the time they learn about your brand, through the specification process, through that product being shipped out to the job site. Understanding pain points in that experience is crucial in increasing your brand awareness and revenue. So whether you need to revamp your branding, marketing, or sales strategy, or the complete customer journey, we are here to help your company thrive. Head to thriveindesign.co/contact and let's get the conversation going about how we can help your interior product company. Speaking of changes, with things changing on job sites, there's also things that change in terms of trends within our industry. And I wonder if you've seen trends change or the requests of customers change in the last 4 decades that you've been dealing with window treatments and tougher bed treatments.
Are you talking about changes with the customer or changes with the product?
I guess both. Tell us all. Tell us everything.
I think product-wise, we're seeing a lot more roller shades. And I think what's really nice is the motorization of roller shades. The motorization has been a very expensive item. That cost is coming down drastically as more people get involved with it. The competition is someone's driving that down, where it's much more affordable to do motorization in your standard guest room. Customer-wise, I think that the biggest asset we can help our customers with is with fabric sourcing. Cost of fabric has gone through the roof, and we have very good connections overseas and very dependable people that we can work and not just source the fabrics, but we can actually create patterns and colors and fabrics that meets the customer's demand. We can help them assist to do a spec package for a specific brand, or whether it's a boutique type hotel, we can work with the customers and designers in sourcing that fabric at the proper price and in a fabric that is conducive to what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And I look forward to seeing those fabric selections evolve as we continue to work together and really just become a trendsetter in the different design segments. So people are like, oh, what's Decorator Industry got going on over there? We need what they have.
Well, Thrive in Design, you guys are our lifeblood right now. I think, we're really solid. We're a really good company, and we're located Midwest, got Midwest values, we feel. We just need to get our word out there. And your team have been great, and we're looking forward to great success down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of, this is probably one of the first times I've had one of my clients on my podcast. Usually I interview a bunch of different people in the industry, whether it be designers or marketing experts or strategists. I've had photographers and everything to talk about storytelling and branding and all the things. And so, Dan, of course, I wanted you to share a little bit about your story to increase the brand awareness for Decorator Industries, because if you're not using Decorator Industries as your go-to fabricator for window treatments and bedding, after today, you should, if you're hearing this right now. But another thing I wanted to talk about was just strategic market positioning. So for your company, you've seen the company evolve over time from focusing on different design segments, having different ownership. You've seen pandemics and recessions. You've seen it all. And so now we're in this era where there's probably still shifts happening within how you go to market. And then we're also in an era where, people expect very digital savvy and beautiful branding to really catch the eye of your company. So I've been really excited about the work that we've done together, and we've only just scratched the surface. But I want you to tell me a little bit about like where you were when you were thinking about your strategic marketing positioning and branding before we started working together earlier last year.
Yeah, well, what really happened is when COVID hit us, we kind of everything put the brakes on. Our goal there was just to hunker down, weather the storm, try to cut down our overhead costs and so on, just try to stay in existence. So we had about 2 or 3, going into 4 years of coming out of that. And in those 4 years, things have really changed. I've been around for a few hundred years here. And I think that, the social media stuff where we used to have salespeople would call on customers. Well, those customers are no longer in their office. They're working from home. So how do you get in touch with those people? Where do you go with this? And, being that we've been in business, we've had a lot of our sales reps are also, up there. They're the dinosaurs. They've been out there knocking on doors and stuff like this. And as I was searching for someone to help us, find a route to get out there, we connected, with you and your team. And it was like a light turning on. It was like, wow, this is really cool stuff. And I worry about being stuck in this wagon rut thing where you can't get out and you don't know where to go or what to do.
Right.
As I was telling my customer yesterday at a lunch and learn is that you guys are awesome. This new software, all this neat stuff. This is really cool stuff. We got to get in this thing, So we're all gun ho about that whole thing. We're anxious to go, and I'm really looking forward to working with you guys and your team forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I was introduced to your company and I started doing research about you guys, and before we started working together, I had so many light bulbs go off because within our industry, of course, there's all of these shifts. We're in the digital age. We're post-pandemic. Social selling is on the rise because, the generations are changing within the workforce. But really, it comes down to what are the core things that you're doing to revamp? So, of course, within an interior product company, the basic things that people should be thinking about are their branding, their website, what their marketing materials look like, both online and offline, and making that cohesive. And then coming up with a strategic strategy to ensure that everything is cohesive, across the board, and you understand the metrics behind everything and the return on investment on everything. So my goal is that as you continue to register for these trade shows, do your lunch and learns, that's where you continue to even create sales enablement tools for your sales reps, that each one of these things are not only beautiful, but are strategic in helping you grow your sales. So I'm super excited about that. And as you shift into having a different audience and how you go to market, that's all going to be taken into account as we create your strategy. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I just think that it's like a turn a new page. Everybody's excited here. I think the sales reps are all in favor of everything. And so we're just anxious. We can't get going fast enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, together, we've only been working together for a few months now. We've already redone the logo and your brand standards. We're almost finished the website. Hopefully, by the time this episode airs, you can go to decoratorindustries.com and check out their new website. We had a new booth design for BD&Y, which will also be showcasing that new branding at Alice Design Plus at the end of January. What else we got going on, Dan? Marketing strategies are in the works, new fabric selections and books and all the things. So keep an eye out for what Decorator Industries has coming along.
Yeah, we do have the new logos, all the new brochures, our catalogs, our lookbooks. Those are all great. We're back into the trade show season where we'll do HD and BD&Y. We're actually going to a Native American Indian trade show this year, independent. We're looking at cruise ship trade shows as well. And then the regional shows, the local Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, state lodging associations, all those stuff. We're getting a lot more active there. We came out of the hibernation through COVID, and we're coming out with some fresh, really, really good stuff. And we're just going to rock the boat a little bit here.
Sounds great. Well, I'm excited to be a part of the process. So as you continue to grow the business and innovate, is there anything that you have up your sleeves in terms of innovation and growth that you want to, separate yourself from your competitors even more?
Well, we do have our It Fits Foundation. It's a box spring cover that's patented. That's been out for a few years now, but that's the absolute best box spring cover out there. And that was a spinoff of one of our Disney projects And we also have a TLC, a total light control roller shade system that came out that actually blocks 100% of light out of for a guest room hotel window, or it could be anywhere really. And with that, we have 4 or 5 patents that our attorneys said we probably have included in there. So we've gone down the patent route, which is kind of fun for me because I'm curious. I'm always looking for ways to go and things to do and stuff more efficiently and still maintain the quality and customer support.
Awesome. Well, definitely for those of you who are listening, check out those patented products through Decorator Industries. But Dan, this has been so good. You shared a little bit about your journey in your career, what Decorator Industries is up to and what is to come. And for all of those who are listening, keep an eye out because this company is just blowing up even more. So is there any advice, because I do love your story on how you've kind of grown in your career, for anybody that's listening that they're like, wow, I'm truly inspired by Dan's story and I am an aspiring leader in the industry. What piece of advice would you offer to that person listening?
Well, I think that, one of my phrases is, we strive to achieve the unattainable goal of perfection. When I say that, business is kind of a game, it's a small game in the big game of life. So our goal here is to be the best we possibly can, and we need to strive for that, knowing that we're not going to be perfect. We're going to have mistakes along the way, but you should be able to, if you do a good job, you work hard, you should be able to go home at night and have a good night's sleep and be able to go back the next day. But I don't think you can give up on what your goals are, what you strive for. It's just that don't be surprised if you're not perfect. No one's perfect, and just do the best you can. Be honest, be true to yourself.
Yeah, I love that. I always say done is better than perfect. And everything also comes in consistency. Just keep going. I love that.
Right.
So Dan, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to continue to work with you.
Thanks, Nicole. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this week on Thrive in Design. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Thrive in Design. And for more strategies on how your product company can innovate in the interior design industry, head to training.thriveindesign.co. As always, subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to create captivating content. See you next week.